Alright, we're going to call this part of the video the preamble. As you guys know, I decided to do the preamble after I'd already shot the video. I know that some of you guys that see this are going to get frustrated. Some of you are going to be frustrated because you make a whole lot more money than me and you think I'm getting ripped off. And some of you are going to be frustrated because you're here at Swift and you make less than me and you think that I must be getting some kind of preferential treatment or something because I'm Trucker Todd. Well, I just want to tell you that I didn't make this video to brag. For those of you that are making more than me, congratulations. Please don't be mean or disrespectful in the comments. Just know that I'm happy with where I'm at right now. And for those of you that are making less than me, instead of being jealous or angry, let this be a motivator to encourage you to do better. Maybe if you tweak a few things, you can get up to where I'm at or even exceed me. You're going to see when we go through the numbers that I've selected, a new truck, basically 28,000 miles, so it's going to be more expensive. It's owner-operator spec. I've selected all of the optional insurances you can get, so that's going to increase my expenses. It's very possible for you to outperform me here, and I'm okay with it. If I meet you at a truck stop or at a terminal and you tell me you're outperforming me, I'm going to shake your hand and congratulate you. That's what I all want. I want for all of us. I want us to all do better out here. And if I've got some information I can share that'll help you, then I'm going to do it. And if you've got some information you can share that'll help me, I hope you'll share it with me as well. Now, I know most of you is going to only watch the first 3 or 4 minutes of the video. But I hope you'll stick through all the way to the end, and we'll go from there. So you guys take care. We'll see you. Let's get into the video. Here we go. Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks. Almost since day one of me switching to Swift, everybody's been asking how much money you're making. How's it going over there? And so in this video, I'm going to try to answer this. You might remember back when I was still at Dart, I shot my mouth off, said I felt like I could be successful in any lease purchase or almost any lease purchase. How's it working out? Am I doing better now than I was at Dart? I'm going to try to answer all those questions. Now, I know we've got a bunch of naysayers out there, a bunch of guys that are sitting there with pen and paper, getting ready to critique my every number. So, because I want you guys to sit back and relax, I'm going to do it for you. That's right, I'm going to give you my numbers, and then I'm going to attack my numbers. And we'll see what the bottom line is, even after I attack my numbers, and I'm going to hit them hard with everything I've got. Well, what are some examples, Todd? All right, I'll give you one. There's some reimbursements on there from driving to pick up the truck, things like that, a hotel stay. We're going to deduct those out. Swift does, and I hadn't mentioned this in another video, and I probably should have, it's a big deal. Swift does 6 weeks of no truck payments, so I'm going to charge myself a truck payment. Also, I did 8 days instead of 7 days. Reason being is I started on the last day of a pay period and actually did a trip on there. So, and also your logbook runs in 8 days. So I thought this would be an excellent opportunity to show my miles that I did in that logbook period and both checks that I received. So we're going to take a look at both of them and we'll see where we're at. So without any further ado, we're going to jump in, but I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. If you're interested in learning more about working at Swift, there's going to be a link in the description below. There's also going to be, I'll put it in the comments and pin it at the top where it's real easy for you guys. Give Michelle a call. If she's busy, leave her a voicemail. If you get somebody else, say, no, I want to talk to Michelle. Don't give them your name or nothing. Say, can you transfer me to her voicemail? It's going to pay off for you. She's got the experience and she'll get you well taken care of. So make sure you talk to Michelle. And tell her you've been watching Trucker Todd. That always helps. Some of you guys think I'm getting paid for Swift, by Swift, to do these videos. Suggest it to them. I would love it. I would do all Swift all the time if I could get paid for it. I'd do, you'll know if they start paying me by the video, because I'll do 5 or 6 a day. I have no shame. 7 days a week, 5 videos a day. I'll talk about Swift once they put me on the payroll for videos. But since I don't think that's going to happen, I'm just going to tell you the truth as best I can, and we'll go from there. But I've said enough. Let's jump right in. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down, flying by these road signs, with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round, for my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Okay, so here is the first week, and this first line here, just to explain, that's my home terminal, Greer, South Carolina. They basically have to move you from Greer to South Carolina. It's not an actual move, it's a computer move, so that's why you don't see any revenue there or anything like that. The first actual trip I did was one from the terminal there in Lancaster to Humble, Texas, which is down by Houston, and that trip paid $316 for 233 miles. Works out to $1.36 a mile. Now, before everybody freaks out, that's $1.36 plus the 75.7 cents fuel surcharge down there. So when you add those two together, you're looking at well over $2 a mile, like $2.10 or something like that. It brings my total revenue to $493.26. That's for 0 empty miles and 233 loaded miles. Now, that's still over $2 a mile, as I said. Now, if you scroll down, these are some what we would call getting started reimbursements. Gas for the rental car. I ended up having to get a hotel. I did purchase the pre-pass Elite Pass. I guess I didn't purchase it, but anyway, I paid the $90 for it, and then they reimbursed me, like I said, for the fuel and for the $84.17 for the hotel. That means the total charges is negative $118.25, or in other words, a credit of $118.25. So when you add the $118.25 with up here the $493.26, you're going to get $611.51. Now, let's go back and we'll look at the other. All right, now that you've seen that one, let's jump into the second one. Here we go. Some of this is a little complicated to explain, but I'm going to try. That first line is the bonus referral for the guy that I talked about earlier in the video that came from Dart to Swift with me. And actually, the best way to do this would be start at the bottom and work our way up. So, we after I delivered down there in Humble, Texas, I went to Baytown, picked up a load, going to Loveland, Colorado. I don't know why that says Loveland, Texas. Total trip pay was $1284.35. It had 39 deadhead miles at 85 cents a mile and 1,088 miles at $1.15 a mile. Now, as I said, that's not including the fuel surcharges. And there's the fuel surcharge for one of my trips right above that, 705 miles at 75.9 cents a mile fuel surcharge. Also, then we went, once I got to Loveland, Colorado, I deadheaded to Wheat Ridge, Colorado, and picked up a load going to Gooding, Idaho. That should say Idaho. And it paid $878.90 total. There was 47 miles of deadhead and 705 of loaded. Then is where I went to the truck stop for the 34-hour break. Now let's go to page 2 of this. Here's some more. This is where the fuel surcharge really makes a big difference. 1,088 miles of fuel surcharge at just nearly 80 or 76 cents a mile. Then we had Bear River City, Utah to should be Oxnard, California. That's the last load I did before my 34-hour break. And you can see the numbers there for that as well. 180 empty, 807 loaded. And so that's that. So you can see my total revenue for really the first full 7 days I worked was $67,1770. And you can see that I had a total of 266 empty miles and 2,600 loaded. Now, we're going to add that with that 8th day that we saw at the beginning so that we get true numbers. Now, let's look if there was any reimbursements here. It's not actually showing any reimbursements. And now we'll get into the deductions. I know a lot of people had questions about the deductions. These are weekly fees. The communication equipment, which is the Zonar, $17 a week. The F-Hut, most of it was paid by the previous driver. You can see they're deducting $20 a week. And my beginning balance was $45.83. And not sure why my remaining balance is $45.83. I need to ask about that. My maintenance reserve, this is optional. I'm putting 6 cents a mile in there, and that put $171.96 in there. Escrow, all companies do this. They're taking out $50 a week until you get to $2,000. This repair order was a mistake on there for the $296.03, and in a second you'll see where they credit that back. And then this other is fuel. I fueled in Denver at the terminal, $682.24. And then I fueled in Huntsville. I don't remember what the name of that truck stop was. Total to fill up was $683.48. And then in Denver I got DEF, and that was $70.26. Some more deductions. Your collision insurance is $135.07. And I want to point out some of this stuff is optional, like this glass coverage, $346 a week. Let's go to the next page. Bobtail insurance is actually really cheap, $692 a week. And this is another optional one, deductible reduction. Typically, if you didn't have this and you were to have an accident, you'd have a total of $4,000 worth of deductibles between the truck, trailer, and cargo. With this deductible buy down, I guess is what you'd call it, it's $1038 a week, and my maximum out of pocket would be $1,500. And so again, that's optional, but I did it just as peace of mind. It's a lot easier to come up with $1,500 than it is $4,000. Occupational accident, they don't like you to call it this, but it's basically workers' comp. And then here's another travel reimbursement that this was for the Uber after I returned the rental car. And then they have where they credit me back that $296 that we saw on the previous screen. So my total charges this week was $1849.90. And the amount going in the bank here was $4867.80. Now, we're going to add that with that other 67, or that 611.51. Sorry, I'm writing this down at the same time I'm talking. And we're going to try to get real numbers for the 8-day period. So hang on, I'll be right back with you and we'll do this. Alrighty, I'm back. Now I did some calculating for you and I want to share these numbers with you. My total empty miles for the 8 days was 266 miles. My total loaded miles for the 8 days was 2833. That gives us a grand total between loaded and empty of 3,099 miles. Now, of those 4 trips, you know, I left a lot on the table. I ran 60 miles an hour for 3 of those trips. One of them, I did 68. So, I could have ran more miles. Also, as I mentioned, I took a 34-hour break and I had another day I sat. So there is basically 2.5 extra days I could have ran that I didn't. And that's part of why I went ahead and did it this early on. I didn't want to cherry pick a great week where everything went right. I wanted to try to get as close to an average week as I could and be fair. So my total revenue for those 8 days was $72,1096. That's right. I had over $7,000 worth of revenue at Swift Transportation, which works out to, on an 8-day deal, about $900 a day. Not too shabby in this market and in these conditions. My take home for that 8 days, this is in the bank, money to me. Well, I say that, the second check I get on Monday, but it's already tabulated. $54.79.31. But wait, there's more, just like a good infomercial. All right, folks, like I told you, 6 weeks of no truck payment. But let's take the truck payment out for you naysayers out there. And let's take out the referral bonus for my friend that came over. So let's start with the referral bonus. $54.79.31 minus $1,500 leaves me $39.79.31. As I've stated in previous videos, my truck payment is $676 a week. You subtract that, that leaves $3303.31. Now I had approximately, and I may be off $1 or $2 here, but I'm within $10. Approximately $242 in reimbursements. So we subtract that out, and it comes out to $3061.33. Now, I just mentioned a few minutes ago that I ran 3,099 miles this week. So my take home on a normal week should be somewhere around about $1 a mile. This particular week, as I said, none of this was staged. This is worst case scenario. My take home was 98.7 cents per mile. Now, some things are going to change. Some of those expenses I showed you, like the $90 for the transponder, won't have that fee no more. The escrow, when I hit the $2,000, won't have that fee no more. So for you guys wondering what you can make here, I want you to keep this in mind, that I would say somewhere between $1.03 and $1.05 a mile, but your experience will vary, and I want to make sure that we're clear on that. Some of you are going to make a lot more than me, and some of you are going to make a little less than me. This was my numbers and my numbers alone, and I took all those optional insurances. It's very possible that you could take home $1.05 or $1.07 a mile, depending on what truck you select and what options you take from the company. But I hope this clears things up. I know I'm still going to have some people saying nasty things to me. I know I'm still going to have all of that. Some people telling me that I'm getting ripped off, whatever. You know, I'm happy for you if you're in a better deal than me. I'm happy where I'm at. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. You guys have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. So you just thought the video was done. I forgot to answer one more of your questions. Am I doing better here than I was at Dart? Well, that's kind of a complicated question. My first week at Swift is better than my last, say, 3 weeks at Dart. However, when spot rates were up, obviously I made more money at Dart. But I had a lot more stress, and needless to say, I'm a lot happier now here at Swift. But anyway, now we're wrapping this video up for sure. You guys have a great day. Whew, there's a lot of clips in here. I must be really tired. I'm going to go to sleep. Y'all take care. We'll catch you on Monday, y'all. Bye-bye.